Okay, so um, I'm gonna talk about the crystals. So this is like a notification of urgency. I had to I had to get rid of the crystals, okay? Because in my situation, someone's using spell work and to use it in a negative way against me. It's like someone knowing that you have them and somehow they're either around in your area or they know where you live or something like that, or they could be around you because of maybe your living arrangement or with with them or something like that, or they could be doing strong spell work at a distance, and it could be like in my situation this person is like a warlock, person heavy into divination, witchcraft, voodoo, that type of thing, doing spells and things like that. And if you're a victim of theirs, and they're strong in this, they are effective at using crystals, candles, certain things against you, against the person that they are doing spell work against. Okay, so like I said, these attachments were sent to me by someone or some persons who are doing spell work against me. Okay, and they have certain reasons why they're doing this. I never got into why that is, but it has something to do with something that they're trying to, get away with or what have you, something that they've done and that they're trying to get away with. Okay, I can't really get into it. I do have I'm going to be having like videos that I'm going to be doing on my life personally. So I'll be letting you guys know about that. But this is the situation. This is how these entities were sent to me, and how how I got to be susceptible to them, because I was told and warned by a tarot reader that these people who are doing spell work against me, I've done whatever they've done, and then they're trying to cover it up by doing spell work and by trying to take me out through spell work, okay? They're going to practitioners to do readings, I'm sorry, to do certain types of spells on me, to try and, it was, in the beginning, to sabotage me in every type of way that they see, because they get readings, personal readings on me, okay, through psychic readings or tarot readings, following me continuously. They also been stalking me for a number of years, and so they've been keeping up with me through via tarot readings and through via psychic readings. Okay, and they've been doing some sabotaging that way. Either if they have to do it physically or through spell work, but or by the way of going through the same thing, going to practitioners to try and stop anything that I have going on as far as success. They become very, very comfortable, with this, because they feel like they're doing it in the background. They feel like no one can stop them, all of this, okay? And then they've gotten to the point to where they feel like they want to take my life, okay? Because they found out something, okay? And they found out something that wasn't their business, something I didn't know about. I still don't know about. Okay, these are close persons to me, and so they found out about something that I didn't know about, and they got it pretty much. Okay, it has something to do, obviously, with value, of great value. Okay, money, and I had no idea. I had no idea it was coming to me. All of this, okay, and they wanted to. They really want to hide the fact that they knew about it, the fact that they got it. They want to, all of this. Also, with these readings and stuff that they've been doing for a number of years, finding everything out in the background. This tarot reader that I'm sticking to says that they become jealous, they become envious of me and of my success and of the things that they see, and they want to, take me out. They want to switch paths with me. Okay, destinies or something. Switch out my what I have coming for me for theirs. But if you're a person of faith or a person as of under any type of understanding of that you don't have to live in jealousy or anything like that, envy of any another person, especially in these days. So many things that you can learn on your own. You can, you know what I mean, whatever type of gifts or, knowledge, you can learn these things on your own. And then if you're a person of faith, you just know that God, you can ask God for whatever it is that you want. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a person that is envious or jealous of anyone, okay, for any reason, okay? You don't have to be in the background doing things like this to people, because, it messes up everything for yourself and moving ahead and moving forward. You don't have to do this. So somehow, these close persons to me, especially those that have gotten linked with this particular person who is not like blood related to me, they have gotten stuck in this mindset of being, envious and jealous and trying to block my success and trying to block me. And then gotten to the point to where they felt as though they can, be comfortable with the thought of, oh, I want to take this person out, or I feel like this person should be, taken out for this reason, that reason, that it has nothing to do with what was taken or stolen or, anything, of great value as far as that. But just there's something about the obsession with the things that they've seen. Like, they don't want to see me in that light. They don't want to see it happen. They don't want to see these things occur for me, this happiness, this success, all these different things. We become very comfortable with being okay with, it's trying to stop me, block me, sabotage me, and this has been for years. I have one person, the main person, who's not related to me, blood related, but is close to me by some type of relationship and years of knowing this person. That's been doing this stalking for about over 7 years. Okay, so that's close persons, following, wherever I go, I've never been able to identify vehicles or what have you, okay? But again, I have to tell my story, I have a channel that I'm going to be starting and everything like that. I'll give you the information on that. So, and stalking in every way that you can imagine. And so they've been doing it for a number of years. 7 years is pretty long. They've also been doing, this, along with that, they've been doing this, psychic readings, getting readings on people. Is pretty simple to do it. Okay, to get a reading on someone else. Also tarot readings, okay, following that. And so they've been doing this for a while. I've just found out about it last year. I had a feeling about the stalking and the tarot readings. I'm sorry, the psychic readings, getting psychic readings on me. Okay, so I had a feeling about that for the longest time, ever since it started. But as far as me finding out that the person was a complete warlock, into divination, was into witchcraft, voodoo, have been going to practitioners to do hexes, spells on me, heavy hexes and spells to sabotage me, and about the plots and plans for this person and the close persons to me that they've linked to together with to do to steal this money that I had no idea about, and then also to have plots and plans to take my life because of this situation with the them taking the valued money, and then just the obsession of the jealousy, the envy, and everything for them finding out all this stuff about me and then wanting to switch places, not wanting it to happen for me, not wanting it to see it happen for me at all, period. Okay, so and just the obsession with that. I just found out about that last year, okay, like May of last year. It did take me some time to try to, get my head together about it, I did try to confront and all this other stuff, but it was, I would say it was unsuccessful, okay, because I did speak to them, but it was just unsuccessful. So I just had chosen to take, keep a distance because of the plots and plans of what I was hearing. And so, anyways, I was told, some months after that they were trying to send an attachment to me, a spirit to me. So I'm thinking, wow, that's what is that? Like, this is, this is getting ridiculous here, after hearing some other things too that I'll share in the other videos that I'm going to be doing about my life personally. I'm like, this is getting it's really ridiculous here, and I guess too at that time I'm just thanking God that, I was protected, from that. So yeah, they wanted to send, she said, they want to send an attachment to you. They want to send a spirit to you. They're trying to send a spirit to you. They want this spirit to be attached to you. And I'm like, this is, ridiculous. But thanking God, I know somewhere in the back of my mind that I was protected from that. So this was months after I found out, probably maybe October, something like that. September, something like that, okay? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm protected from that, But in November is when it happened, when the attachment was able to, I was able to hear these voices. I actually thought they were angelic beings. I think I talked about that before, yeah. For these videos, yeah, I thought that they were angelic beings, and so that's how I became receptive to them. That's how I became open to them. That's how I began to talk to them. And and I thought this was God visiting me, through these spirits. But as it turned out, they were not of God. Okay. At least the way that I see it. And about a week or so, they revealed to me that they were from something about the Reaper. They were from, the devil, and that God had turned me over to them, and because of my sins. But at that point, they had already caught my attention. At that point, I'm believing that this is something that is so real. I've never heard voices like that before, so I believe them. I believe them that because of my sins, that God has turned me over to to the devil, and that, I'm going to have to die, for my sins. So I went with them for a few weeks doing almost everything that they told me to do, some ridiculous dumb things that I should have never done, things that make sense, that don't make sense. But in my mind, I was thinking, I'm completely turned over to the devil, and I just need to, listen, and, because I'm completely, in this situation. I'm helpless in this situation. This is what hell is like. This is what I have to accept. So, I just agreed and just did whatever they were asking me to do. Okay, they were telling me to leave my house. They were also telling me to take my life. Several times they were telling me and spoke of my life being taken. Okay, and several times they were asking me to do it. But like I said, I'm so pro-life. In my Christianity, my faith, we don't believe in any type of suicide. We believe that it's one of the greatest sins to take your life. Okay, that you will end up in hell. Okay, and that's the reason why. And that is just a huge sin to do something like that, to take your life. Okay, so I wasn't able to do that, even though I believed them, I just like I did everything else but that. Okay, now I will say some of this stuff that they were asking me to do, I'm supposed to be talking about crystals, I'm so sorry, but was, it was a decision like, well, you had a choice whether or not you were going to do it. Actually, in that particular situation, you feel it just seems so different because these spirits seem so close, and they are. These spirits are right near you. They're right around you. And I was told that there's 17 of these, okay, that were sent to me. And they could be, 5 or whatever the number is, but this attachment was particularly 17. Okay. So I just felt like, this is what I needed to do, and more so that, okay, I am going to hell because of my sins, and it was that bad, and so God is going to send me to hell. The thing about that is it went on for months. I mean, this is March here, okay? So I've just passed 4 months last month, and the longer it went on, and certain things that they would say, and I'm just thinking, this is too long, something's not right, something's wrong. And if it was meant for me to die or what have you, why are you keep asking me to do this? Or, just something just wasn't clicking, something just wasn't right, or something was just out of order or whatever. It just wasn't making sense. And so I tried to, separate at times, or sometimes I would just stop doing what they told me to do. Even though, they had all these threats, they have all these, I never spoken about this, you know what I mean? So I might do the crystals at another video. I've never spoken about this, but they do tell you to do a lot of things, and they do threaten you. And they'll say, well, we'll do this and we'll do that and we'll do da da da. So they anywhere from bodily harm, which is one of the last, but to different things. We'll do this, we'll raise you, we'll do this, we'll do all these different types of things. And so you get so used to what they're saying that you just, one of them, you continue to just listen. They can get so embodied in your mind, just so engraved in your way of thinking, that you just end up doing what they're doing, what they tell you to do. Now I have two separate ways of this. One was before I knew that there was a connection, and I said this before for anyone that's paying attention and just interested in knowing, or just like, I can't believe that person said that. Like, is that really true? One of the first time so then they told me that they were of the reapers and they were of the devil, blah, blah, blah. There was a time when things separated, and I found out or figured out that it was the people that was doing the spell work. That these people were the ones using these entities, these spirits that have been sent to me by them who are doing the spell work. So the voices is the voice of the entities, right? The spirits, okay, that were sent to me. But the messages were from those who are doing the spell work. And that they had went so far as to allow those spirits to be in their body so that they can enter their body. Okay. And so that those entities can use them. And so that these humans, these people who are doing the spell work, that once they allow the entities into their bodies, because they're into heavy divination, they were into heavy, spell work. They're into heavy, this other one is a warlock, witchcraft, voodoo, all these types of things. These types of in the spiritual world, they're very much into this. Something about, I don't want to say that they sold themselves to the devil. Something about close connections, Luciferian type of things. Okay. So they would let these entities, this is what the tarot reader has told me, that they are allowing entities to enter their bodies, and something about crystal balls, that they look into crystal balls, so that they can see what the entity sees, and so that they can hear what the entity hears. So it's almost like they're here too. It's like they are here as well in my house, in my home. And when you think about the massive levels of manipulation that they have gone to, the extent that they've gone to. Now, remember, the main person doing this, they've been stalking me for 8 years, in every way that they possibly can. So they've leveled up to this extent. And this is the warlock. Okay, I'm the one that's into heavy divination. The one that's, they're into this spirituality stuff. And that they have turned, certain close persons onto this type of stuff. Close persons to me onto this type of stuff behind my back. I didn't know that they were even in communication, as the tarot reader has told me last year. But turned them onto this spiritual way of things, as far as the spell work, so you usually using certain spells on people, just doing all this stuff that isn't according to like my faith and my religion, those things we're supposed to stay separate from. We're not supposed to touch those things, or go to those that way, because it's of the devil, or it's not of God. Okay. So there's a stopping there. You can't just you're not allowed to divulge or go into those type of things. It's because it's evil. Okay, that's how the way it's looked at. But this person who is not blood related to me, they're I don't want to say they're of another faith necessarily. They're not so much into that way of believing or seeing things as those close persons to me are actually. So I really don't know how this happened, but it did. And it's there various different ways. Only God knows how and why, that they've done this or what have you. So, but I'm really sorry. I'm gonna do a video on the crystals specifically, okay? But yeah, so that they've gone to that extent. Okay, so like I said, I don't know exactly how this happened. All I know is something about looking into mirrors, something about looking into crystal balls. And I used to hear her say that, oh, this person is so whacked out or what have you. And they're looking through crystal balls. This tarot reader, I'm watching them on YouTube. Just doing their general reading. So I've never even gotten a reading from that person. Again, things like tarot readings and psychic readings are, I don't want to say they're of the devil, but they are looked at as to be, separate from, the Christian faith. Okay, that's kind of like looking to another God, lowercase God. Just trusting in a different way. Okay. All right, so but there were some other situations that brought me to this particular person that was very serious. Just looking, and I ended up finding out about all of this stuff, okay, last year. So yeah, she said they're looking into mirrors, crystal balls, heavy into divination, witchcraft. This person is a wardlock, a baby wardlock, whatever that is. They're going to practitioners, doing spell work, heavy spell work on you, all this stuff. So when it comes to this part that I'm saying right here, I'm not sure how exactly it is. All I know is that there's this very familiar, I guess, voice now. Like this person has revealed themselves, but it's taken months for this to happen, okay? Are you talking last month, I would say? Last month that they really, really, really revealed themselves and started talking about their name, who they are and stuff like that. Getting very threatening and things like that. Really starting to come out, trying to be, very, what do you call, controlling and everything like that. So anyways, there's so much to this. You have to do a lot of things to protect yourself from these spirits, from these entities, because they may be able to, do some harm to you, from what it looks like, and it being connection to Luciferian, where the people are doing sacrifices. They're sacrificing certain persons, like myself, of divines, persons who, they live a good life. They try to do the right thing and all that stuff. These people are looked at as, from the Luciferian type of persons, are people who do sacrifices, of other people, of others. They like to sacrifice people who are good people, and they make for, some type of good sacrifice because they're a good person. They want their energy somehow, and somehow they're ciphering their energy. They're, doing all this stuff. Like, it just doesn't even make any sense. Like I said, destiny swap. They want to swap your life, and then if they take your life, they're able to take your life, then they're able to, swap out destinies of how they live theirs, and, temporarily, I would say, until they're living, because when they die, they have to face God. So, this is at the core of this whole situation as well. The fact that, there's something about my person, me. It's something about me. That main person that's been stalking me found out something very peculiar, very interesting about myself. I happen to be a very interesting individual. That's something about my faith, my talent, all this other stuff that is very rare. Okay. And so they have made me a sacrifice to this Luciferian things. Yeah, that's what she said. She told me that too. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? And like, yeah, they volunteered and said that you will be, a sacrifice or what have you. And there was other tarot readers saying the same thing. Okay, so, this is, obviously this is completely gotten out of hand. You know what I mean? But this is at the core of this, that there actually be several reasons why they feel, this main person and the close persons to me, why they feel that they want to take me out, why they feel that it's not okay. And there's another reason too that they hold on to, that is I'm at fault. They're holding on to my faults, the things that I'm at blame for. And they're like, oh, this type of person needs to die. This type of person shouldn't live. So I'll get into that with the videos I'm going to be doing for about my life. Okay, but yeah, so but the devil or the enemy is always going to use our faults and blame them on us. But if you're a believer in God, you know that you can trust in Him and trust in His Son Jesus Christ, that He sent to to die on the cross for our sins so that we would not have to pay for them. Okay. So, and that's the truth that I already knew when this whole thing started. I just didn't know that these spirits were not of God. They weren't angelic beings. But they knew this, right? They knew this the whole time. They knew that I was not going to be expecting this. They knew that I was going to go for this because, they knew what my fears were. They had studied me for a long time. They knew I wasn't going to catch on for a minute. You know what I mean? And they were hoping that I would believe it and that, I would take myself out. That didn't work. And so they've been of late been trying to do it themselves. Something about these entities or their capabilities, what they're able to do. And what I've been doing on these videos is just been showing you guys, what the things that you need to do or should do in order, what I've been doing to survive in these situations. Okay. Because it could be serious. They actually, the more closer you are to being healthy, physically, the less chance they have at succeeding at doing you any type of bodily physical harm. The more closer you are to being unhealthy, the more susceptible you are to any type of them doing any type of harm to you. Okay. The more you listen to them, the more you are in communication with them, the more you are susceptible to the things that they are able to do to you. The more you believe them, the more susceptible, the more things they can do to you to harm you or cause you harm. Okay, so I've been talking about that. I'll do another video on cutting off the communication with them, the power of doing that. Okay. And then where I'm at, today. All right. So, but, as far as, just concluding this, let me see. Oh, because I was talking about, I wanted to, just talk about how there was a separation, I did say that, where, I found out that it was them. Before I found out it was them, there was still this relationship. It's really interesting. Because you're listening to them, their voices is like you have no other choice, but to listen to them, or you're like, because it started on the 15th. No, and then, no, it started on the 15th when I really think about it, November. And then it started on the 17th, and I was like just very open and receptive, and all this other stuff. On the 15th, I just knew that I was hearing voices, but it didn't seem like they were of the devil or something like that. Because if it came in as that, I know I have to pray but against it. And that's the reason possibly why they didn't come as the in that way. Because I would have been all over it like white on rice. Okay. But because I know how to pray. But they didn't come like that. They came as friendly or as advisable. And so I'm thinking, oh, wow, I'm hearing voices. Wow, this is cool. November 15th. Oh, this is cool. I'm hearing advisable, they're giving me advice. And they didn't seem or feel, threatening at the time. By the 17th, they seemed more like angelic beings or something like that. And that's when I really tuned almost everything out and started listening to them more. I would say by the 19th is when I started, listening to them as far as what they were asking me to do, and everything like that. So, yeah, and ever since then, is when the relationship really, the 17th is when the relationship developed. But that was before I knew that they were a part of this group. That's before I knew that they were, these people that are doing the spell work. I think that there is a distinctive difference between this situation that I'm going through with these people who are doing the spell work, and entities that are sent, that are not entities that come to people. So I watched a video, something about they come to you when you're low, vibrating at a low place, when you're going through some type of traumatic experience, depression, when you're being super negative. You may be very argumentative. You may be even bipolar or something like that. You're always going off and stuff like that. These are the times that these entities or these spirits can be around you and can attach themselves to you, where you're made susceptible to them attaching themselves to you. Okay. But what happened in my situation was that these people who are doing spell work, they actually sent this attachment to me, as opposed to me just being around it, or or what have you, it being a regular way or something like that. This was actually sent to me by these people doing spell work. Again, they're into heavy divination. One is a warlock. They're into heavy spell work, going to practitioners, paying a lot of money to do some type of spells or what have you. They're into witchcraft, voodoo, all this stuff, okay? Even Luciferian type of things, okay? With sacrifices, doing sacrifices, this type of thing. So they're heavily into this, and they sent this attachment to me. And this is like 17 spirits, okay? Entities, okay, to me. So because of what the things that they were doing to me, having stolen, something of great value of mine, and having found that out through getting personal readings about me, something I didn't even know was coming to me, something I didn't even know that I was granted through some type of inheritance or something like that. And like I said, some with the close persons to me, some of them have, through mail, okay? Okay, and so that's one of the ways that they were able to do that, okay? And then also through another way, but I won't get into that. All right. Like I said, so they sent this attachment to me. When I found out that, trying to wrap this up, when I found out about that it was them, so it was already a close relationship, or you're talking to these spirits. It's almost like they're regular people or whatever. You know what I mean? At some point, you know what I mean? Because you listened to them, you've had to listen to them, you're trying to corroborate, you're hoping that, they'll go away, or you're hoping that the situation changes. You know what I mean? So by you cooperating, or that this whole situation ends, if it is for you at that point, when I was thinking that it was, you're going to hell and, your life's going to be over, you're just hoping that whole situation is over. You know what I mean? That it hurries up and happens or whatever, and or if you're thinking differently, you're hoping that this situation ends. You know what I mean? That, they go away and your life goes back to the way that it was. Okay. And so you're cooperating, you're listening, you're doing what you need to do to survive in that situation. You're responding, you're talking back to them, or you're responding to them and everything like that. You're doing what you need to do to survive in the situation, because they're talking to you. Okay. And there'll be times where, I've cut them off, and I've tried to, I've done it successfully, for like a few days to a week or so, and successfully cut them off. And I'm going to do a video about that. But, yeah, when you just get frustrated and you walk away, you realize it's been 2 months. You realize it's been 3 months. Yeah, I don't think this is working out. Yeah, I don't know who sent you or what have you. This isn't working out, that type of thing, so... so I learned to walk away, and then I had one spirit come and tell me, you're not supposed to be listening to these spirits. You're not supposed to be listening to the voices in your head. This is the devil. This is the enemy. The enemy is always going to accuse you. Do not listen to these spirits. Leave these spirits alone. Like, leave these voices in your head. Leave those voices in your head alone. You're not supposed to be listening to them. This is about a month and a half ago or something. And that's when I really, really started detaching as far as, staying in communication with them and all this stuff. I really was like, yeah, okay, this is what I need to do. That was all the confirmation I needed. From there, I started to, stop communications with them, okay? Cutting them off, knowing that, whatever I need to do, I just need to leave them alone. That's the main thing, so, that they can't do anything to me unless I'm, in direct communication with them. So, getting back to this, there was a separation before the time I knew that it was these people who were doing the spell work, before I connected it, okay? It's been hard for me ever since I learned that it's because the relationship got even more intense. It got more closer because I actually know these people. During this time, I feel like, these are times that they're able to say what they want to say. And even before that, before I realized who they were, I said, these messages seem like it's coming from them. You know what I mean? They're telling me what not to do, what to do. Seem like it's coming from these people who are doing spell work to me, who are trying to sabotage my life, who are trying to stop me in every way imaginable. That's what I was thinking. But then I found out, oh yeah, it is them. You know what I mean? And they've gotten a chance to, talk to me and in a way say they're sorry. For all of this and all this stuff, but they still have every time I try to come up with a solution for the situations so that they can stop, you know what I mean? Stop trying to come from my life. Stop trying to, be like this towards me. They always come up with some reason that they want to take me out. I'm still not clear, I have to say, if this is all just entities, or more so entities than these people who are sent this attachment. If it's just them that have sent the attachment, I think it's a mix of both. I really do. I really believe that, it's entities that have, because they want to say that they're separate from these people. But I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. And so it just remain like that. But the way that I look at it is these people who are doing the spell work. Especially that main person. Now they're identifying themselves, saying themselves by name. And of course, this person's been doing this over 7 years, stalking me in various different ways, then getting behind my back and getting, including close persons to me that, into this, all this stuff, you know what I mean? Behind my back, and they didn't tell me anything. And then they eventually end up, selling something of great value to me, behind my back, of course. And then coming up with all these different plans and plots to get rid of me or have me not find out about it. And doing all this spell work, and have gotten hyped up to this level where there's these attachments sent to me, 17 entities. And if I'm not mistaken, they're using them. I do believe, like she said, this tarot reader that I'm sticking to, that they're into heavy divination. Heavy tarot. Okay, readings and stuff like that. Psychic readings. That one of them is a baby warlock. That they are into this Luciferian way of doing things, into sacrifices and stuff like that, sacrificing others. That they possibly, some of them, have really, I don't know how to say it, sold themselves to the devil in this way, sold some of their gifts or something to the devil. I really think this person that's been doing this stalking, who is unrelated to me by blood, have really turned these close persons to me, or family members as well, to me, to all of this stuff, this Luciferian stuff, this devilish stuff, this, all this spell work, voodoo, witchcraft, doing spells on people, going to practitioners to do it, getting readings and doing the readings on me, getting readings on me, finding out more about me behind my back. You know, it was like, why would they do something like that? I did keep a separation from my family, but I was doing it because of this person, what this person was doing, the stalking. I didn't want this person, I didn't want them to become a target because, or to get hurt, or, to be at risk, because if I had a close relationship with them, I didn't want them to, I would notice certain things, even though I didn't know much, I would notice certain things. And so I would just stay away from, certain persons and certain relationships, because I didn't want anything to happen. I knew that I was thinking, oh, this person is sending negative energy, but I had no idea. They were completely into witchcraft, voodoo, doing spell works, to do sabotaging, all this stuff, that they were a baby warlock, all this stuff. I had no idea that it was that intense. But it was, and it is. So, this is the core of this whole situation. And, these people, something about, they have government ties to, they're into groups, Mason groups or something like this. They have connections with other persons who are in the government. Or they do a lot of different things. They're connected with certain groups that do certain things. I mean, it's very, for the spiritual, and I'll talk more about this on my other videos about my life. And I'll let you know what that is, but because I'm just newly starting with that. But this, and spiritually, this is what this is. If you've been watching this whole thing and you're a spiritual person, of the faith, Christian faith, this is what this is. This is a spiritual attack, in a huge way, and it's really, a close eye on how and what and how much damage and how much, the enemy, or how far they've gone, or, all this stuff. Because I'm, a vessel by myself. I'm alone. I'm not married. I actually have a child with this main person that's doing this. And they have the child and everything like that. Is already, the courts have already decided all this years ago. My visitation with the child has already been, cuts for about 5 years plus now. So as far as my decision, because this person was so unreasonable to me, and uncommunicationable, and I didn't have the finances. I still don't have the finances to, insert or implement a third party successfully, okay, so that they can do the communications, and so that, even for the visitations and things like that. My, living arrangement and all that, still not where I needed to be financially and stuff like that. I want to be in a better place to be able to, have my child around me, who is now a teenager. So anywho, I'm just, it's a lot. So it's a spiritual battle, for those that, can understand that, or, see that, or what have you, or want to know it. That's what it is. For it to be this deep, and for it to have so much, going on and all this stuff. And then I'll talk more about a few reasons, what they believe and what they think is I'm at fault for, and I'm to blame for. Oh, this person is this, that, and this is why we're doing this to this person. For a logical reason, or a logical way of people being able to, like, trying to understand how it is that these close persons, in whatever ways they are close to me, or have been doing this and doing spell work and all this stuff. Okay, so anyway, I've been talking a lot about this. This is my story on how these attachments have, came to me, and what's going on and everything like that. Like I said, my point that I'm trying to bring out, is that it's been hard because I've been lenient to being open to these spirits, okay? Because I know these people. And so it's hard to let them go. In a sense, it's hard to do that, but I need to do this because they don't mean me any good. They mean me harm. And again, this is all a Luciferian, game here or plan, or and that's to take this person out. The end game is to take this person out. This person needs to be taken out. We want this person to die. And that's the plans of the enemy. But they can only do what you allow them to do. Okay. So I had to separate myself, and that's what I've done, and that's what I do of late. In the last few weeks, really stronger than I've done before. Even in the beginning in November when I started praying even harder than I've done that before, and I'm going to get into prayers. The fact that I've been doing that. So by title, you can check out the rest of the videos about my story, about what I'm going through, about my experience with these attachments that's been sent to me, okay, by close persons to me because of various reasons, okay. So I'm taking note, and I'm documenting it this way about my experiences, and I hope you are able to find something that will help your situation, or if you run across someone that's going through situations where they're hearing voices of this magnitude, telling them to off themselves, kill themselves, or telling them to, or that's hurting them, and maybe people don't believe them. Okay. And it may be, some type of attachment, some type of entities that are around them, spirits that are around them, what to do. I am talking everything from spiritual cleansing salts to now I'm at candles, okay? So I'm going to get into all of this stuff in the next videos that's coming up, okay? So I appreciate you listening. I hope that, these videos are going to help you. And if you know of anyone or run across someone that may have similar experiences, hopefully, you can send this this to them so that they can, check it out. And, of course, they should do their own research and, into it, look into it, because there's some things that they will find that will be more helpful or something like that to their situations. Okay, so I'm going to end this and start some more videos about the situation.